Welcome everyone to Business 100. My name is Neil Mayers. I'm going to be your instructor for the course. This is just to reinforce not only an online course, but this is what's known in Germana terminology as OER, or Open Education Resources, which means there is no textbook. All the information you're going to need to read and to study for the course is going to be located online here. Now I'm going to talk about introductions in a couple of minutes. I did want to tell you that the goal of the class is going to be to help provide a broad, practical understanding of the business world around you. This may be the most practical class you all take during your college education. We all live in a world that an understanding of this information, of what's going on and what it means, will help us decipher and navigate it better. And I also consider myself very lucky to be teaching the most interesting course at Germana. So, my office hours, as you see below, my office is located in Culpeper over in the annex. Best way to get a hold of me is via email. I really will only use the phone during office hours. If you need to speak to me at a time outside of those, email me and we can set something up. I do also periodically do distance learning classes over in Stafford, so if anybody needed to meet with me and didn't want to come to Culpeper, I could certainly make arrangements at some point each week to meet with you in Stafford or someplace there as well. Now, in terms of what you're going to need to navigate through this course, the vast majority is going to be found in Blackboard under the weekly modules tool, just to the left of that red arrow there. The majority of what you need each week in terms of the reading, the preparation, the materials that we're going to talk about, quizzes, etc., is going to be found there. The other information that you will need is there is a syllabus, which is right below weekly modules, which will give, in addition to other important information, our weekly schedule of what we're going to be covering. Slide presentations, a couple below that, is going to give you some background on PowerPoint, which is also, by the way, applicable to Google Slides, but is going to give you some very useful information on how to prepare effective PowerPoint presentations. And it's really focused on more the content than it is the techniques for the technology involved. If anybody needs help with the technology, let me know. But that section, that tab right there, is going to give you some great information on preparing powerful PowerPoint presentations. That will be important for this course. We're going to be doing them every week. Faculty information, my background, contact information, office hours, etc., can always be found there. Discussion board, you're going to see that there. You will be able to launch to the discussion board right from your weekly modules. You will not need to go in through that portal, but if somebody needed to, for whatever reason, it's there for your benefit. Now, the first thing you need to do is, first of all, as I said, go into the introduction under discussion board. That is the one time you go directly into the discussion board and introduce yourself. It's going to ask you to upload a photo or an image that you think would help people get to know you. Whatever you choose is up to you, but if you could take first thing you should do is go in, take a minute. You'll see I've already put my introduction in there. Help everybody get to know one another. The second thing you need to do is you need to go in under weekly modules. There's a couple things above this red arrow that are really for me. That's more for faculty purposes that you won't see. But below that, you're going to see an overview succeeding with Waymaker. As I said, Waymaker is the tool that we use to help deliver this OER course. You are very much going to need to go into that module and go through the information there so you understand how to navigate this course. The first thing, it'll going to walk you through an overview. The very first folder inside of that is going to be a release that you need to submit. So please make sure you do that after you introduce yourself to the group. Make sure you go in, you read through that information, but before you get too far, you submit the release to help to Waymaker from a licensing standpoint. The other thing you're going to want to do is right below that Succeeding with Waymaker tab is you want to read through the information in Salty Paws case study. That is going to be what a lot of the homework activities are based on, and I think it's a very nice little case study on somebody starting a new business that will help give you some perspective. So you're going to want to read through it to know what information is there at the very least, so you can go back and refer to specifics each week. Now, every week when you go into, for example, under weekly modules, you get into module 1, you're going to see actually see 4 things. The first thing you're going to see is reading and preparation. There's going to be a tab in there which is going to tell you what section to read or the information that you're going to need to read, and it will be located right in there. The module will launch you into a sequence of information you'll need to go through. In addition, there could also be in many weeks other information that's been added, such as videos, documentation, etc., that will be meaningful for you. But the first thing you need to do is go through, do the reading, and look through the preparation materials that are presented. The second thing you're going to see is in some weeks, in 10 weeks out of the next 14, there will also be a discussion board. So if you go into that, if you click on that, you're going to see right there, I should say, information that's going to help you provide background to the discussion board. You want to read through that, make sure you follow the instructions, and know that there are 3 posts that you need to make each week. One is about a 150-word post on your position on that point, and the second is 2 other reply posts to other people in the class of at least 25 words to what they've put down. So you're going to want to put your post and then 2 other 25-word replies to other posts in there. Now, beyond that, if you scroll down through the page there's going to be 2 other things. 10 weeks out of 14 also, there will be an assignment which will be a PowerPoint presentation. You will see on there it gives you what the task is. They're going to be about an average of about 5 pages long. And what you're going to see is the bullet points you see listed below there are essentially going to be the questions that you're going to want to address. Or said differently, each of those questions or each of those bullet points is probably going to be a distinct page on your PowerPoint presentation. So you're going to want to make sure you read through the information here and you put your presentation together that identifies each one of these points listed. Last but not least, every week you will have a quiz, which you will need to take. That quiz will, and I'll talk about those in a second, but the quiz and all of this information is due to be completed by Sunday night each week at midnight. So the first set of information is due this coming Sunday night at midnight. There will be a discussion board this week, there will be a PowerPoint presentation, and there will be a quiz by Sunday night at midnight. Now the quizzes. A couple of points on the quizzes I want to make sure that you're aware of. These are important. This will be 30% of your class grade. There will be no midterm or final offered in this course. So these 16 quizzes will be your testing for the course, and this will be just under 1/3 of your total grade for the class. They will be done, as I said, each week by midnight Sunday night. And this is very important to know, you will get 2 attempts at this quiz. So you'll get to run through it a second time. If somebody for some reason gets thrown out or locked out, if there's some technical problem you have, where you need a 3rd attempt, I will give it to you. You just have to send me a request in writing, and I'll take a look at it each week. But everybody gets at least 2 attempts to each quiz. A couple of notes on the quizzes. You want to make sure that you look at the question, because there's 2 options for questions on the quiz. Some questions ask for which of these is the best answer, and some say which of these answers apply. And in the case where they apply, you would list all of the answers that would apply to it. And in some cases, I will tell you, if you've got 3 choices like you see on that question to your right there, all 3 may be possible. So make sure you look when you do the quizzes to see if it's asking for the best answer or all answers applicable, and know that one solution could well be, or one outcome could well be, that all 3 are possible. And last is, these quizzes are in the separate folder at the bottom of the weekly module. When you are in the modules themselves, there are other quizzes and pre-testing, they call it, that you will be doing that will kind of help walk you through the class. As you go through the reading, it's going to take you into some quizzes that will help give you information on what you've learned and what you haven't. Those within the module are not graded. This one is. The one that's in the weekly module at the bottom, those are graded and what count. The other ones as you go through are really for you, your purposes, just to check your progress and learning of different concepts. They are not going to be graded. Now, grading in terms of an overview, as I said, 30% of your grade will come from the 16 quizzes. They're worth 10 points each. The last quiz will be worth, they will be 2 that are worth 5 points each. But 15 of the 16 will be worth 10. The homework, 30% will be from the presentations, so the same as the quizzes. 20% will come from the discussion boards, and then there will be a final project due at the end, which will be 20% as well. The final project will be about a 15-page PowerPoint presentation. It will be due the last day of the course, and it will be on a consulting recommendation you'll make for somebody else. I can tell you more about that later on. Grade Center, just so you know, will be out of 1,000 points. Now, a couple of other important things to point out to you. First of all, OER means no textbook. It does not mean no reading. There is lots of reading that's involved in this. It's just done online. I would also stress that one of the most important things about an online course is to stay current. Online also does not mean I can do it all in the last couple weeks. Once these have been locked, the modules have been locked out each week or have been closed down at midnight. Anything that's submitted after that will be docked points. And lastly, there will be a time limit on how long I will wait to accept late information. So it does not mean no reading, and it does mean you have to stay current. I'll post some more information on the final project in a couple weeks. And PowerPoint, as I indicated to you, will be very important in this class. If you have any questions or concerns on that, please let me know. Now, just couple last thoughts here on what to expect from me. I'm going to share with you, as I think everybody knows, that at the end of each semester you'll have an opportunity to evaluate the course. What I think you're going to find, I've been doing this for 6 years at Germanna. I've been fortunate enough to work with lots of students like yourselves. And the typical grading that I would get, the typical results I would get from a survey would be that, first of all, people are going to tell you if 15 people participated in this survey, you're going to see that out of 15, 12 said they either had to put a lot or a huge amount of effort into this course to be successful. So the people said they're going to have to work hard. Now, I'll also tell you that 15 out of 15 said they either got a lot or a huge amount out of it. So what I'm telling you is you're going to have to put a lot into it, but you're going to get a lot out of it. Everybody would have said that I was consistently fair with everyone else and would have given the course overall very good ratings as well. Lastly, if there's any questions on any of this, let me know. Best, of course, as I said, is to shoot me an email at the address below. Good luck, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Talk to you soon.